few short videos for the current DeltaMath assignment for each of those sections. So the first section is exponential functions, looking at the basic exponential functions. So that's what this video is about. So in order to do those, you need a formula. So let's look at what they look like, and we'll talk about a formula. So the problem, so here's an example of a problem. It says a town has a population of 12,000 and grows at 5% every year. What will be the population after 12 years to the nearest whole number? Okay, so when we look at the basic formula for growth or decay, so you have your final amount, and that's going to be equal to taking the principal of what you start with, and you're going to multiply that by 1 plus or minus. So it's plus if it's growing, minus if it's decaying, the rate as a decimal, and you're going to raise that to the time or however long that you're talking about. So when we come back and look at our example here, we are looking for those values. So first off, looking for our principal. So in this case, it says a town has a population of 12,000. So 12,000 is going to be our principal. Okay. And it says it grows at a rate of 5% every year. So 5% in this case is going to be our rate. So 5% is our R value, our rate. Okay. So the last thing that we're looking for is our time. So it says what will be the population after 12 years. So I should have picked a different color. So let me do that. So if we're looking for after 12 years, 12 is going to be our t value. Okay, so again, 12,000 is our principal. That's what we started with. 5% is our rate. Now we do need to know or recognize how to write 5% as a decimal, because we're not going to write 5, we're going to write 5%. So if you remember, that's going to be 0.05. So if you move that decimal place twice, or thinking about percent is out of 100, so 5 divided by 100 is 0.05. So those are the values that we need in order to solve this problem. Okay, so again, we are looking for the amount, the final amount. We don't have that. Our principal, if you'll remember, was 12,000. Okay. And it was 1, and we were going to do plus because it grows. So 1 plus the rate, which we talked about, it was 5%. Then 5% is a decimal, 0.05. Okay, and we're going to raise that to the number of years, or how long we want to look at, and that ended up being 12 years. Okay, and so once you have all of that, it's just a matter of putting it into a calculator. Now you all do have the Desmos calculator app, which will work. So I'll show you kind of how that looks. So if we go into your Desmos calculator app, even though it's a graphing calculator, you can still solve problems with it. Okay, so it was 12,000. And 1 plus 0.05 as our interest. Okay, and then our exponent there was 12. and you see here you're going to get that answer, and it did say round to the nearest whole number, so we've got to look at that rounded to the nearest whole number. So 21,550, but we need to look to see if we're going to move that 0 up or leave it a 0. Because it's a 0.2 right after the decimal, we're going to leave it as a 0. So your final answer on that would have been 21,550. And just so that we can see that it is correct, again, I'm looking through, making sure. So I did 12,000, I did the 5%, I used the 12, so I should be good if I put in 21,550. Just double checking, because you guys know how DeltaMath is. And when I submit my answer, that is the correct answer. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video. We will be looking at our next section, which is talking about compounding interest.